Hey, Wes, what's up? Look at that. Look at that brilliant, handsome face. Isn't that something?
Pretty in pink, right?
You are pretty in pink. Is that pink?
Especially on the radio. On Monday, when this is an audio, I'll be the prettiest person in the room.
I don't know. You look a lot like our guest today, so I'm not sure that people will. They may think you started out running the controls. They may think Jeff's doing it all today.
Well, I'll let you know two things. One, God only put hair on made so many perfect heads. The rest he put hair on. So Jeff and I know that, and unfortunately, you don't, and that's okay. Right. You're a silver fox. But the second thing is that I love you and our guests so much that I actually had to reschedule a pedicure today. So that's just how much I'm willing to bend. For you and our viewers.
I for once, I'm speechless. Well, I'm not actually speechless, but what I got to say probably wouldn't be for our family-friendly audience. But.
Yeah, you're like, let me say, he's wearing pink, he's getting pedicures. Wes, do I need to ask you something?
Yes, and that's okay.
It's all good.
It's all good. Whatever. Beautiful. So yeah, we just got done talking. Jeff's a guy I've got to know, and we're gonna have a great chat today because he's an author and just an all-around cool dude, man, and a great haircut. So
and I have to say, a great looking guy, and you'll see why here in a second.
Well, you can just put yourself back up.
That's right.
Sometimes I worry about you running the controls.
I'll come back with a different shirt on. Hey, I'm Jeff.
I think that's perfect. All right. Well, we are quite funny, or at least we think so. We look great on Mondays on audio. So
we do.
But until then, let's go get Jeff.
Let's go get Jeff.
Let's do it. Hey, Wes, you're back. Oh, wait, that's Jeff.
Yeah, well, I figured since I canceled my pedicure, I'd just stick around for the whole show.
But you switched shirts, too, in 7 seconds. That's amazing.
Well, I told you I was going to do it. I thought, I'm going to deliver on what I say.
Yeah, that's true. You always have. And you're a juggler. You juggled it. I love it.
It's good to be here. I don't know why I'm here, though. You should just keep Wes on for the whole thing.
Well, we've done that before, but we usually go off on places we probably didn't intend to go because we've done that when we've been together before. It usually all comes back to the fact that he's a food stealer, and I'm never going to let him forget that. He's a good guy, but he's a food stealer. So when we get together sometime, which I know we will, you and I and Wes, it'll happen. You know it'll happen.
Well, I'm going to put you between me and Wes.
Yes, guard your food.
Save my food.
Guard your food. It's important. So welcome, my friend, and thank you. I've been looking forward to this ever since we chatted, 3-4 weeks ago, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was.
Right. That was a great phone conversation. We're we should have had the podcast going. So
we should have
do round two.
And if you're either really here's how you get invited back. You really screw up.
Wait,
or it's so brilliant that we have to have you back. And I'm going to put my money on the first with you. No, I'm just kidding.
Screw up. Yeah. I'm on it. I got you.
Okay. Mess this up big time. Then we'll bring you back. See if we can get it right the second time. But so Jeff, Koziatek.
Yeah.
It's not like Koziatek, which is a clothing store in Lansing, Michigan. It's Koziatek.
It's totally exactly not the same.
Not the same at all. So everything I just said didn't matter because it's all wrong. But that's
but it was you, and you were speaking with confidence and authority, and so it meant a lot. Like,
exactly. Well, it meant a lot to me, and it means a lot that it meant a lot to you. So anyway, so tell us about you, your family, your life a little bit. You're in the greater St. Louis area. Are you in the city proper, or suburbs thereof, or?
No, I'm out in the county. County. Grew up in St. Louis, and then spent some time living in Astoria, Queens, New York, and then in Brooklyn, and out in Los Angeles, in Burbank, California, and then came back and raised a family here. Married 18 years in August, and we've got 2 boys, 3 cats, and 1 dog.
Oh, and a white picket fence. Is there a white picket fence?
We're bidding on that today.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Gotta love it. Well, awesome. And so, you're kind of a jack of all trades, or should I say a juggler of all trades. You're an entertainer. You juggle. Do you do magic dishes?
I do a straitjacket escape. I don't. So here's the thing. When I was a kid, loved magic. Big fan of David Copperfield. Had a magic kit at home, and thought that's like I love that. So I signed up for a magic workshop, and on the way to the workshop, my mom like leans over the seat and looks at me in the back, all excited, ready to go, ready to learn magic. And she goes, Jeff, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you the workshop is full. So we put you in the juggling workshop instead. Totally changed my whole life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was downhill from there, but you know.
Yeah, pretty much. So I ended up becoming a juggler instead.
I
The
love
only
it.
magic I do is a straight jacket.
Well, that's cool. Oh, that works. That works. You know that off camera before we started, my producer buddy pal brother Wes Wyatt, who looks a lot like you, scarily, but
That's an amazing haircut.
he does have a great haircut.
Yeah, he does.
But it's actually, I thought that was you for a minute, and that scared me a lot. But
I'm everywhere.
you are. You're omnipresent. I think that's good. We'll go with that for now. But be kind to your guests. I made a note. Be kind to your guests. I forget that at times. But
thank you.
You president of Core Authenticity in the St. Louis area. What in the world does Core Authenticity do?
Well,
I mean, it sounds really impressive.
Well, thank you. Well, that's really all it is. It's just a name to sound good. Like, hey,
good.
we got to work. We got to work.
Perfect.
With Core Authenticity.
Okay, perfect. We're done here. Thank you for being here.
Well, yeah, Core Authenticity essentially serves 3 different types of people. The one person is somebody who's looking to hire a professional speaker for their organization or their conference. Person number 2 is somebody who is probably a small to mid-sized business owner, and I'm talking like less than 150 employees, and they want to bring me in to either speak for them or, more importantly, do some performance coaching to help improve follow-through, communication, leadership, collaboration, stuff like that. And then the third person is somebody that's looking to do one-on-one performance coaching with me, and that's usually a C-suite level exec or an owner of one of those small to mid-sized companies, somebody that is that's probably got some experience with coaching in the past, and they are ready to make a change now and hit their results. And oftentimes they might be wrestling a little bit with overload or doubt, second guessing, or cycles of burnout. So that's where I come in.
That's awesome. So, and you've been doing that for a number of years.
Yeah. I got certified to do coaching back in 2014. So about 9 years of coaching. Been doing the keynote speaking since 2015, about the same time. And all that comes out of my entertainment career that I started way back in 97. But that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story, but I think we need just a tad about the entertainment world. Tell us about how was it juggling mostly or other things? Why am I doing this juggling with my hands?
Well, that's what it looks like when you juggle your hands.
You thin. Yep.
Yeah, that's the universal juggling.
Yeah. Everybody knows what that means, right?
Yeah. Or, it's not milking cows. It's juggling.
Well, I grew up I milk cows. Don't make fun of that.
Well, I'm trying to speak to my audience. Oh man.
Okay, fair enough. Speak away.
So entertainment. Yeah. The short answer to that is I did comedy juggling shows and stilt walking and fire performing. I worked as a stage MC and a game show host. I did character stuff, and I did a lot of acting too, on screen and through voiceover stuff. In addition to that, I also did a lot of producing. So I produced films and videos, and I managed national touring acts. I had an entertainment company where we would do full service event management and booking agency stuff. So yeah, but all of that came because can we go deep? How deep you want to go?
Let's go deep. Let's do a deep dive.
All of that came because that's what I love. I love art and people. So anything art and people related, I'm in. I was also shooting photography and doing painting and stuff like that. And I couldn't say no. And I couldn't say no because I thought my performance, what I was doing, how I made my living, brought me significance and worth. So I did as much as I could. I never said no unless I already had something on the books. Gotcha. And that was not a healthy way to live.
Okay. So that's interesting. So you, at some point, was there a deciding factor, that aha moment where you said, okay, that is it. I have got to stop saying yes to everything. Was there that one time, or did it just sort of happen?
No, man, I spent 4 years trying to find focus because everybody said, Jeff, you just pick one, pick one, just pick one lane. You're doing all this stuff. I didn't know how to do that. Then I was on a radio interview in between takes when we were off air. I was talking with the host about my focus. He's like, oh, I can help you. I can help you in an hour. And I thought, I've been spending 4 years on this. What the heck makes you think you can help me in 1 hour? That's ridiculous. And after going back and forth on it for a while, I finally relented. He said, okay, give me 2 hours. Great. I can do 2 hours. That makes more sense.
More sense. Yeah.
And we got together and he did exactly what he said he would do. He helped me create a new filter that allowed me to say yes to some things and no to others, to recognize that just because I could do something, just because I loved something, didn't mean that I had to or had to find a way to make money at it. It could just be a hobby, Randy. It could just be for fun.
Yeah.
And that was a really big change. The other thing that happened, and working with my coach, I started to recognize the source of my worth or the source of my significance or my identity and how much of it was wrapped up in my performance. And I was finally able to sit back and say, oh, look at this. I'm doing 200 shows in 3 months. And then I follow it up with video production and photography shoots in the fall. And then usually by November, I'm totally tapped out. There's nothing left, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Like I'm out. And yet, even though work slowed down, the bills kept coming in.
Right.
And I'll never forget this, man, because in that moment, I'm sitting there thinking, I've given everything I have. And I worked my butt off for a solid 6 months. And it's still not enough. It's still not enough. And I'd start looking at the life insurance policy and think, well, maybe that's a better way to take care of my family. Because I'm giving everything I have and it's not there. And my coach, he looked at me, he's like, Jeff, this is not the first time we've had this conversation. He's like, would you like to go a different way? I was like, yes, please.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
and that's one of the reasons why I like working with business owners in that C-suite level on burnout, because I've been there. I've given everything I've had. I've managed employees and 1099s, and I've worked on my own, and I've seen some of the darkness that can bring out, and it's not pretty. And to be able to help people make a different choice and use a different mindset and perspective is really awesome.
That's amazing. And so you lived that life, so it's a lot easier for you to teach and train and counsel and coach guys or gals that are going through that. See, I'm old. I can say gals. I can get away with that.
It is not theoretical. We'll just say that.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
It's awesome now. It's awesome now.
Now at the time it wasn't. Yeah, you wasn't loving that at the moment, obviously.
All right, what you got?
Well, that's very cool. So you talk a lot about, and then we'll get into your book and a couple of things because there's some really cool stuff in there. I love the book. I'm gonna hold it up.
Hey,
look at that.
There it is.
There it is, right there. It exists. It exists.
I like that book.
It's a great
book.
You
can even check it out online. How cool is that?
Ah, come on. Hey, we may be Disney, but we're not Mickey Mouse here. Come on. I know you're kind of a talent guy. I'm working for a comedy gig, so in case now I got a long way to go. But Wes and I find ourselves quite humorous when we're together. We were together last week in Indianapolis with a mutual friend of ours, Christine Harrington, the savvy sales lady, and I think we were the only three in the Starbucks and the restaurant that found ourselves really, really humorous. Wes's wife found us humorous, but I think she had a vested interest. But
well, back in the day when I had a 2-man show called Bazoink, we had this belief where if we're gonna go out on stage, we gotta have fun, because if we're not having fun, nobody else is gonna have fun. And I think if you can't sit there and laugh alone. And have a good time by yourself. I mean, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Exactly. Yeah. So talk to me about you like to talk about in your training, I think fast track about doing more in less time, right? Because you
Yeah.
learned that there's a lot of stuff you want to do. We all got all the stuff we want to do, right? But we got to figure out a way to do it in less time, because we do, as you found out and so eloquently talked about, is you're going to drive yourself into total burnout if you don't have some time for other stuff. So tell me in a nutshell, or two or three, or a bowl of nuts, how do we do that? I mean, because that's a
bowl.
Man, is there M&Ms in there?
No.
Unbelievable.
There should be.
What kind of guest
I'm
are
going
you?
to talk to Wes.
Yeah, Wes is. You'd think we'd have grapes and M&Ms and chocolate chips in the green room, but we got nothing.
Yeah.
Low budget.
I was told
low budget, buddy.
Green M&Ms.
It's a low budget. Come on. So it's called bring your own stuff. Damn it, that's what it's called. You want something?
If I would have known,
yeah. Who knew? Well, we figured if we told you it was that low budget, you might not come. So, but anyway, I digress. Fast track, doing more in less time. We all know what that means, I guess, or what the concept is. But boy, that's way easier to say what I just said than to do it, right?
Fast track, doing more in less time. Yeah, I think it's something that a lot of people want to do and they don't know how to do it. I think we spend most of our time glorifying busy, and we just stay busy, and we get caught up in all the stuff that that can keep us away from achieving the goals that we want and making the progress that we'd like to do. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we don't know what we value, we don't know our guiding values, and B, we don't have a clear understanding of who we are and our personal vision and mission. So when I'm working with my clients, helping them to clarify, hey, look, listen, all the decisions you make are based on your values, whether you know them or not. And so if we know what our values are, then we can make decisions confidently that are in alignment with those, and we can avoid doing things that are not. So that's one way to start saying, okay, well, I'm going to do less over here, less of the busy that doesn't really fill me up, align with my values, let alone align with who I am as a human being and my personal vision and mission. When we have those things, we can say, this stuff we go over here. This stuff definitely aligns with that. So now we can double down into this area and we could do more of that. So you're thinking, well, how do you do the pushback might be, well, you were doing a lot. Now you're just doing a lot more over here. I would say that's probably a yes and no answer, because you are still doing stuff, but now it's more streamlined. So you're getting more done. And when you streamline like that, you're going to find you're getting greater results, and you're not having to work as hard. So it's kind of a yes and. Does that make sense?
It does. And you hit on it a minute ago, and you just hit it on again, or what I'm hearing is no is a very good answer. Many times no's the right answer, correct? Sometimes it's just no. It's just no, I can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I literally don't want to do that. We have to do things we don't want to do. But I'm talking, there's things that come at us every day that, like you said, you took yes to everything. Yeah. Right? And you found, it sounds like that I can look at that and go, that doesn't meet what Jeff wants, and I don't need to do this. Right. And so no, I'm just not going to do that. And it's hard to do if you're a yes man. And I don't mean a yes man as the typical stereotypical way of being a yes man, but if you're used to every opportunity, I find that I used to find that years ago in my sales world. I've been doing this for 4+ decades. That's why I have gray hair, but that and 8 grandkids and almost 2 great grands. So, but
I'm bowing down.
Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You can send tokens in the mail. A baseball cap with the Papa's the greatest would be good too. That might get you on again. But at some point, I would, every product line out there. Well, I want to sell that. It's like, oh, you want me to sell that for you? Yeah, I want to sell that. And then I found myself over the years getting into stuff I didn't have any love for, didn't even like it. Yeah. Don't even know why I took it on, but because I say yes, that's what I do. And once I learned to stay with what in my lane with what I do, boy, life is a lot easier. And I still make mistakes. I still screw up, but it's been much easier to say no.
Okay, so I shared some of the dark side of my entertainment career, but I there was a lot of light in there too. I mean, I did it for more than 20 years and had more than 4,000 shows. So I did enjoy what I was doing. One of the cool things about the entertainment business that I was in was the ability to cross a lot of social boundaries and perform for a wide variety of humanity, which was just great. And when I was doing that, I was paying attention to my audience, and it seemed like, in general, whether you were a kid or an adult or somewhere in between, or whatever, it didn't matter what your ethnic background, what you look like, what you believed spiritually or politically, or where you were social economic. Like, everyone seemed to look for their identity, their significance, their worth in one of 5 areas. And it was either in their performance, their property, their appearance, their circumstance, or their relationships. And when we're looking for them out here, saying no is not an option ever, right? Because we're trying to earn more, we're trying to protect what we have. And if we're finding it in our performance, we have to stay busy, and we have to make sure everybody knows that we're busy. Or if we're looking for it in our property, we have to get more stuff and acquire more stuff. And we're constantly moving, seeking to gather more stuff. Or if it's in our relationships, we're constantly name dropping, and we're busy networking all the time to be the networker who knows everybody, because that makes us amazing, right? Or maybe it's in our appearance, and we're spending a whole bunch of time up here, hypothetically getting pedicures or something. I mean, it's possible.
Could be. Some people might do that. Yeah.
Right. Some people, not everybody, but you know. But I mean, like, we spend a lot of time on that, and so then we can't say no, because if we say no, then we are worth less. Our significance drops, and who we are feels like it fades away. And so to be able to help people, regardless of where they're coming from, shift their perspective from looking for worth and significance and identity outside of ourselves, but to stand on a foundation that says, no, my worth is intrinsic. My significance is intrinsic. I have identity beyond my roles and responsibilities. We stand on that cornerstone, then we've got the superpower of no. And you add to that, okay, here are my guiding values. For me, it's belonging, courage, excellence, and hope. You add to that your core identity statement. I'm a responsible, I keep pointing up here because it's on the wall. But like, I'm a responsible, reliable, loyal, controlled, empathetic, wise, and creative man. Like that, those are the skill sets that I bring to the table. And then my vision, here to empower and encourage others with my mission, by teaching anyone who wants to learn and set the example. Like that becomes a significant filter that says, okay, I enjoy photography and video production, and that's fun, but it doesn't have to be a way of paying my bills. So it can be a hobby that writes a nice check. The performing stuff, that most aligns. Why? Because it's about giving people a safe space for them to be who they are. How can we do that more? Hey, let's speak. How can we do that even more? Let's coach and walk with people one-on-one to create that sustainable change so that they too can say no, so that they can have that filter and say, you know what? I'm going to live more of my life in a thriving mode rather than a survival mode.
That's that is huge right there, because so many people, even you think of survival mode, the first thought would come to mind would be somebody barely getting by, no place to live, no food, but you could be a multi-billionaire and still be in survival mode, right? You're not surviving, not as far as a place to live and eat and heat and nice cars, but your life, let's see, I'm thinking about a term here, still sucks, right?
I think technically that's what it's called.
Would that be? I think so. We'll go with that one. Yeah. I'm the host, so it's my show. I'll say what I want.
You set the rules.
Rules.
I think it really comes down to, do you want to show up as the champion or do you want to show up as the challenger? I mean, fundamentally, those two have completely different takes on the world. I think both can be successful. I mean, we see people show up as a challenger all the time, and they reap massive wealth and all this other stuff. But there are consequences that come along with that. There's a cost that you have to pay if you're going to show up as a challenger. the challenger usually shows up either comparing all the time, saying, "Oh my gosh, everybody's better than me," or they show up to compete. Like, you know what? I'm going to prove that I'm better than you, and I'm going to go all out to make sure that I'm number one in my field, regardless of the cost. Or they might show up to contend. Like, I'm going to be the best, and you know what, Randy? To make sure that I'm the best, I'm going to cut you down. I'm going to pull you down so I can get back up on top. Or the challenger shows up to constrict. And that's a version of the comparing, right? Where they're like, everybody's better than me. But when we're in constrict mode, we're like, you know what? I don't like that I think you're better than me, so I'm going to pull you down to my level. And then nobody wins.
Right.
I think sometimes the challenger, when they're in that competition or the compete or the contend mode, like, they can experience success, but there is a significant cost when it comes to relationships, when it comes to sustainability, when it comes to health, and usually results in high turnover. Not that I'm speaking from experience. But then the champion, though, on the other hand, doesn't do that, because the champion is standing on that intrinsic worth piece. And so when you show up as a champion, you're engaging with yourself. You're equipping yourself with what you need. You're empowering yourself with opportunities to lead, succeed, or fail without judgment, because you know that what you do comes from you but does not define you. And you can encourage yourself. And then you level up to champion 2.0, where you become the champion's champion, and you start doing that for other people. And that grows healthy, deep relationships that allows us to be present, to listen to people that we're serving and working alongside, the ones that we're leading. And that's what I'd like to do.
Yeah. And you do it quite well, my friend. So,
well, thank you. The check is in the mail.
Okay, that's all right. It's 2 F's, 2 E's, just, in case you wondered. So tell me about it, because I wrote down here PWA, personal worth account.
Yeah,
we all have one, right? Or we need one, or should have one.
No, I think we all do have one.
Just we may be empty, right? But we've got to fill it up, right? So tell me about what it is and how it works, and because I want to fill mine up. I like everything full. That's why I'm going to dinner tonight, because I'm hungry.
Fair enough. Man, you're going to eat a lot. So the personal worth account, I believe that your intrinsic worth is always full all the time. On a scale of 0 to 10, it is a 10 no matter what. Even if you're acting like a 6, you're still a 10. Even when you're treated like a 2, you're still a 10. Even when you feel less than, your intrinsic worth never changes. It is now, has always been, and will always be a
10.
Yes, a 10, no matter what. When we stand on that cornerstone, that's when we're able to show up fully present. That's when we're able to give without expectations, which we could talk for an hour about. Yes. That's when we're able to serve, we're able to support, we're able to be the best version of ourselves in any given moment. The problem is our perception of that can go up and down on a moment-to-moment basis. Like in a road rage example, say somebody cuts you off on the highway, it's really easy to take that personal. You feel like less than, like, oh my gosh, this SUV that just cut me off. What does that person think? That the highway exists for them alone? No, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah.
And we do that until we feel like they do see us, and then our worth goes back up. So I call that the personal worth account. Your personal worth account is your perception of your worth. And so what I want to do as a coach, the reason why I wrote this book, Blueprint for Value, is I want to help people keep their perceptions high to match reality. That we are now, have always been, and will always be a 10. Keep that personal worth account high. We do that with 52 habits. What? Yeah. There are 52 options in this book, but one of my favorites, and one of the ones that we started talking about.
Let me guess. It's number 52.
No, but that is.
Okay, well, we'll go there then. I thought I had a great segue, but
yes, you're right. Number 52. No, hashtag wash your brain, because of repetition. We can go there.
But carry on.
Well, I was going to say habit number 20, stacking pebbles.
I love it.
Because I'm a huge believer in the small wins. which is why I think we get along so well.
Exactly.
I think a lot of times people will put a lot of pressure on their need to get the big wins, to build the big mountains. And unfortunately, those typically don't happen all that frequently.
Right.
But the small wins happen daily. And when we just focus on all the big wins, we miss all the small wins. Why is that an issue? Because if we pay attention to these small wins, I'm not talking, wait a minute. Here it is. I'm not talking like rocks. I'm talking something small, like a pebble, something small. Because if we can pay attention to those and we start stacking up those pebbles, pretty soon you've got a wall. Pretty soon you've got a hill. You've got a mountain. And there's so much value in that. And when we can stack those pebbles and we're paying attention to the small wins along the way, it can help keep our personal worth account full.
And I know when we were talking for a good hour, 2-3 weeks ago, whatever it was, we both went, wow, because, when you talk about stacking pebbles, I talk a lot about my virtual win pile, right? Throwing wins on, little wins, big wins, medium-sized wins, and they all compound with each other and they all build upon each other, right? And that's exactly what you're talking about. I just like stacking pebbles, sounds better. I wish it was mine, but it's copyrighted, so I'm screwed again. But anyways, that really sucks. But anyway,
I'll share. I could share.
Would you? I have 1% of it. Can I say it once? One more. Stack pebbles. There. I'm happy now.
You got 7 more for the week.
Okay, good. What a guy. But I love that concept of stacking pebbles because you're right. So many people look for that. They spend hours, days, weeks, months, years, lifetimes looking for that one big win. It's almost like I'm going to keep spending every cent I have to win the lotto, which is statistically impossible, right? I mean, yes, somebody does win, but the statistics say you and I will never win $500 million. Right,
it's
very
low.
low. So we spend all that money looking for that one big win, right? Or look at all the little wins here, little wins there, new job here, new sale there, whatever case may be. And 20 years into that little run towards the end of the life, you've got a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of wins. You got a whole stack of pebbles, right? Where they're now rocks, walls, mountains. I just love that whole concept. I don't think either of us are saying when that big stone, that big win presents itself, that we don't jump on it. That'd be silly. But you can't spend your whole life looking for it and putting, and I think that's what you're saying, right? Is don't forget about the little pebbles that you can toss on that win pile today while you're looking for that big one that may never come. Yeah.
Well, I think there are a couple different directions I would love to go with this. The one is entertainment, is an actor, and the other one is relationships. So let's talk relationships for a second. If we look at our relationship and say, hey, if I'm looking at my relationship with my wife and I'm saying for my marriage to be successful, these things have to happen. And these things are like a really big vacation once a year, and that my wife and I connect this way, and we have these big lofty aspirations, and that's what we focus on. That's what I focus on, and I'm not stacking pebbles, then I miss all the little things that she's doing along the way where maybe she made a meal, or maybe she set up some kind of event that we're doing, or fill in the blank, or we both do work around the house. She did work today. She took care of the dog, or fill in the blank. All these little acts of love I miss because I'm so focused on the big ones. Right. And so by missing all that, because the big ones don't happen very often, I could misperceive. Is that a word?
That works. I mean, hey, I like it. Okay. You're the authority here, so that is a word.
I could misperceive what's going on and think that my relationship is something else other than what it actually is. But if I'm looking for those little pebbles along the way, I can see a very rich and robust and connected relationship.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Full
And I
sense.
think we
like
do that personally, but also professionally with our coworkers, with our employees, with our employers. And so I think we can use the stacking pebbles bit not only to grow our relationships at home, but we can also do it at work.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, we can take a look at how we're showing up instead of beating ourselves down for not succeeding. We can take a look at what we are doing and then shift our confidence, build momentum, and then start hitting those mountaintop experiences more frequently.
Love it. Good stuff. Stacking pebbles, number 20 in the book.
Number 20.
And just in self-defense, I said number 52, wash our brain, because that's what you signed when you signed my book for me.
Yeah.
You said,
well,
so let's talk about that real quick, and then we got to run.
Okay.
We'll have you back because you've messed up so badly. I'll let you come back. No, you did so good.
Thank you.
I think this will be worthwhile to come back again someday if you'll be so kind. But wash your brain. Let's finish on that one.
Well, thank you. Wash your brain. It is my favorite. That's why it's number 52 at the end, so we can find it really easy. Zig Ziglar talked to an audience years ago, and he asked his audience if they had to wash their hands. If they'd wash their hands. They all said yes. Then he asked them, will you need to wash them again? And what do you think the audience said, Randy? They said yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Because Zig,
Right.
because Zig said so.
Right. And then he asked the audience, why will you have to wash your hands again? And they said, because our hands get dirty. So I've asked audiences, like, did you brush your teeth today? Like, yes. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Will
Good
you
job.
need to brush them again? The answer is yes. Why will you need to brush your teeth again? Because they get dirty. I think the same thing happens with our brain. A big part of what I do as a coach and speaker is help people understand they are a 10 no matter what. Your worth, your identity, your significance is internal and never ever changes. And then we go out into the world and we hear all these messages. You're not enough unless you live here, unless you have this stuff, unless you know these people, unless you look that way, unless you still have hair. Anyway, so we get all these messages, right? Or unless you have the latest iPhone, 17 gajillion thousand, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Always
you're
gotta
not
have
enough
something.
unless. You're not enough unless. And so that those messages start building up like plaque on our brain. We have to hashtag wash our brain. We have to remind ourselves of the truth that our worth is internal, never changes. And as such, we can stand on that. And then we can see that 10 in other people. And that's the game changer when it comes to leading, to working as a team, because now we start to see people as people, not objects or obstacles in our way. And all of that starts from how we see ourselves, which is why hashtag wash your brain number 52 is the most important.
I love that one. My man, we flew by this and some great stuff. So we will have you back. Well, I want to tell everybody. Yeah, okay. Easy.
I'm sorry.
Be excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's better.
Pull out my best Monty Python. Yeah.
Okay. Buy the book, my friends. You know, I used to do some book reviews, and I kind of got off it because I've been traveling a lot. But I will do a book review on yours or a book recommendation because there's a couple rules I follow with that, which makes sense to me. But I only recommend books I read, which is kind of should make sense.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, and I have read the whole thing, by the way.
Really, I'm surprised because it is so thick.
Well, but you don't need a lot because that's what I love about it, because my attention span is the size of a gnat. So, Wes and I together, we chased shiny objects together. We were chasing squirrels last week in Indianapolis, and Christine was with going, "Hey, your lunch is here," and we're going, "Yeah, we're busy."
Yeah.
But
Thank you.
But with that said, it's a great book, but I also I only recommend books that I believe I agree with, and I full-heartedly love everything about your book. Yeah, seriously. And I only recommend books of people that I have got to know and met the author personally and like. And okay, we're working on that one still, but I think there's a chance still. But
so close. So
we're this close. This is almost there. Personal worth account. What I think doesn't matter. See, I learned.
Right. Thank you.
See, but
I gotta wash my own brain.
Yeah, wash your own brain, will you? And then come back. Well, wait. No, I'm just kidding. So, Jeff, outstanding as I knew it would be. Appreciate you being on, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I've always enjoyed talking with you all 2 times.
All 2 times. We'll make it 3, and then we'll see from there because it's, I haven't found it personally that well. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe you liked it. I didn't. Maybe it'll be okay then. I'm just kidding. It's been great stuff. It's been great stuff.
Thanks,
I
man.
knew this would be fun, and I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being on. Any
I
last
appreciate
parting
you.
words? Any last parting words?
Ooh.
Oh, that's tough.
Oh man, now you put me on the spot.
I know. Well, that's what.
All right. Tell you what. You will never, you'll never see worth in someone else beyond what you see in yourself. You might value what they do or what they've gone through or what they have, but you won't see worth in who they are as a human being more than what you see in yourself. So it starts.
Boom.
Leadership starts here.
Boom. Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
You have a great rest of the week, buddy. Let's talk soon.
Woo!
Woo! All right. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
See you, bud. There you go. Jeff, the man himself. Great book. Read the book. Seriously. I got a little glare. Read the book. Read the book. Anyways, you know what I'm going to say. And after today, you really believe why I say a lot and why I like Jeff so much. You got to live it, love it, and own it. It's your life. Seize it and own it. Love what you do and do what you love. That's what I'm doing right now. Wes and I do it together several times a month. And remember this. Make today your best day ever. Until tomorrow. Go get them. Cheers.